Why do so many anti-feminists feel the need to harass and abuse the image of feminists on the internet? This is an issue that I think has come up quite a few times across social media, but recently I saw Sargon of Akkad post an image of a feminist in Wales wearing a shirt that said feminist and making fun of her appearance. Now, if feminism was something that could be easily debunked, then this would not be needed, as anyone with any critical understanding of any movement can clearly see that an argument should focus on another argument and not rely on physical attacks and attacks on someone's appearance to make their point. Now, obviously, this has overcome Sargon of Akkad in this instance because he has felt the need to make fun of this person's weight, which, again, for someone who poses himself as an intellectual and someone who's clearly got the authority to speak about feminism over feminists, this isn't something that you'd expect to be happening. Now, whether this is just limited to Sargon or whether this is to other feminists, anti-feminists as well, is another topic. But I find that many anti-feminists like to poke fun of someone's appearance and make jibes about that first before they get into serious analysis as a means of debunking and criticizing feminism. To use a few examples, I've seen the likes of reactionary channels or reaction channels like wrecked feminist memes, I think, use the image of feminists to call them retarded, which of course isn't serious criticism and certainly shouldn't be used as an argument for the whole of disproving feminism. Yet we see that used as serious pointers when people are asked why they don't agree with feminism. We see the image of feminists being used to mock the whole movement. A very famous one of the a lady with red dyed hair and glasses being sort of the poster child for why you shouldn't be a feminist. Or we see a slightly overweight, a slightly disabled lady banging her hands against her legs as the raging, hysterical feminist and uses an image as to why you shouldn't be one. And I think that shows the lack of critical analysis and understanding of feminism as a whole. You don't see the real understanding of the movement through just taking out a few images of people who are easier to mock and using them as a straw man for the whole movement. I mean, firstly, why you should mock people's appearance anyway is a question in itself. Like, you shouldn't be of the mindset that someone's appearance is something that's deserving of mocking. That's quite childish and juvenile, and it shows the need for some sort of movement to counter those sort of people in society. But secondly, if your arguments against an entire movement are based on simply that a few people in the movement look slightly weird to you, that should tell you straight away that there's a problem with that. People get annoyed when a straw man of their own arguments are used to debunk them. So why should they then use straw mans themselves and pour stock people in feminism to use it as a debunk of feminism, as legitimate criticism of feminism? Moving forward, you see again someone like Warcorp666. Whenever he sees a feminist, if they're not of his liking, if their image isn't something he finds attractive, he'll usually scream about it. He'll tell them that they've not got nice breasts or that they're ugly. And ultimately, that shows the lack of understanding of feminism from him. The fact that he sees that as legitimate criticism before anything else shows that he does not understand or have the nuance to criticize feminism legitimately. And all too often, even the most legitimate of criticism of feminism, even the people who make more considered points and you actually do spend time thinking about it instead of reactionary channels, they will still include mocking of feminist image, which clearly shows that there's a problem within anti-feminism for many people that relies on the debasing of people's appearance. It's tough to find prominent anti-feminist channels that don't rely on either fat shaming or abuse of appearance or using just appearance as a forefront to criticism in either a thumbnail or as an early entry joke. And I think that should really be an indication that we need to be looking at what anti-feminists are saying more seriously in relation to mocking the appearance of feminism and criticism of feminism as a whole. Linking it back to Sargon of Akkad, someone who has, I think, over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. I find it quite dangerous and quite worrying that he's taken so seriously when he posts such juvenile and dangerous, inflammatory posts on Twitter, like the one of the lady in the shop with a feminist shirt. And if your criticism of feminism links entirely to just that one lady's appearance, then you need to be looking at yourself really instead of feminism and wonder why people need for feminism when you can take the appearance of one person as serious criticism of an entire movement.